SC tournament. All right, as we were saying, Knicks and Cavaliers. Knicks a 2-0 lead. Cleveland in full desperation mode, down 2-0 to Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift in the house. That was about the extent of the Cleveland motivation in this one. Look at Mikal Bridges all the way. He was 11 of 15 from the field in this one. Knicks fans traveled well. They took a 9-1 lead on Cleveland. More in the first quarter. Karl Anthony Towns, a harbinger of things to come. Cleveland's defense was atrocious. Midway through the second quarter, James Harden to the paint. Spin cycle. Harden had 19. Kelce fired up. Cleveland within 2, and then a couple possessions later, Harden all the way down Broadway to tie it at 48. Offense wasn't the problem for the Cavs, it was defense. Look at Jalen Brunson right to the cup. Brunson had 38 in game 1. He had 14 assists in game 2. In game 3, he did a little bit of everything, getting to his spot, knocking it down. Knicks in front at the break, 8-1 in the postseason when leading at halftime. Cleveland 3-6 when trailing at the half. Knicks led it by 6 at the intermission. Third quarter, more from New York. In transition, OG Anunoby to Bridges. One of 27 assists for the Knicks in this game. Midway through the third, Anunoby. What a weapon he is. You figure you got to account for Brunson and Towns. Anunoby does it all. And then Brunson to the cup. Knicks pulling away in front by 12. A minute to go in the third. Harden. And 1. Cleveland within 7 after the made free throw. But at the other end, Brunson, step back. You don't know me like that. He had a huge alley-oop assist before the end of the third quarter. Knicks led by 9, headed to the fourth. Early fourth. Hart, Bridges. The lead was 14. Cleveland had no answers. And then Landry Shamet off the bench again for the Knicks. New York in front by 14. Shannon one more time. Shamet was 4 of 5 from the field. Every one of them a three-pointer. 14 points off the bench. The Knicks in control, and then Brunson. 41 minutes, 30 points, 6 assists. It won't be talked about, but the Knicks made their free throws, 24 of 27. And this one is all over but the crying. 121, 108. The Knicks in what was a must-win game for the Cavaliers come away with the victory and a 3-0 series lead.
You hear chants, let's go Knicks. MVP, were you on the free throw line? You're on the road. Just what does that mean to you guys?
I don't know. I'll explain. I'm at a loss of words, but like, I like the way we fought, most importantly. But the Knicks fans, they travel, man, and they're gonna be hurt in whatever building they're in.
Landry Shannon, just describe the impact that he had on this game, particularly in the fourth quarter.
He played big time. And, that's just the way he does. He's a true professional, and the way he just attacks the game and approaches the game. Whatever is asked of him, he shows up and he does it.
You guys haven't lost in a month. Teams always want to be peaking at the right time. 10th win in a row. Just, what does it feel like for you guys as a group to just be in this flow right now?
Our mindset hasn't changed. We're trying to get better every single day. We're trying to learn even from wins. There's a lot that we can get better at. There's a lot that we can control. A lot of mental errors that we need to clean up, but we're always just looking for ways to try and get better.
Game 4 on Monday, chance to go to the finals. What's it going to take?
Just focus on one possession at a time. The way we've been having that mindset over these past couple weeks, we have to continue it. If not, it has to be better.
All right, thank you, Jayden.
Let's bring in someone who donned the jersey of both teams during his career, and that's Sharpe. Plenty to unpack from this game, but with the Cavs now on the cusp of elimination, what is the biggest takeaway from your perspective of what you saw in their performance tonight?
I thought that they lacked a sense of urgency. I think that this is a back-to-the-wall style game. You let go of game 1, you're coming into game 3, you're trying to get your fans excited, and you're supposed to play like desperate men. Play like you haven't drank water and I don't know how long. It needed to be a desperation, and I didn't see the urgency. The biggest takeaway that I took from being able to locate times that there was no urgency was where is the transition defense for this Cavaliers team? When a person breaks past the three-point line and gets into that key situation or gets into that paint situation, there has to be 2 guards back. There has to be a last line of defense. I thought that they did a very poor job of saying, let's pay attention to the details and pay attention to the small mistakes, the little mistakes that led to easy buckets for the Knicks. Let's take those away in game 3. I didn't see that adjustment. I didn't see the attention to detail. It was honestly a disappointing performance from the Cavs.
And Sharpe, we can talk about Landry Shannon, and we will. He was great off the bench. But the Knicks starting lineup was dominant. Every player in double figures here. What is it about that group that has given Cleveland so many problems?
Well, what they're doing is they're changing sides of the floor. I think early on when we watched the Knicks, especially when they had problems with scoring the basketball, they had cold spells that happened. What they did was they put Karl Anthony Towns in a high post area. We put him on the sideline into a 21 action, and then there's cutting, there's movement, but the ball changes sides of the floor, and we have Jalen Brunson to have a great floor game and say, hey, anytime we aren't going to those actions, now that we have, and I've sprayed the ball out a little bit, I can get my wiggle room. I can get downhill. I can make sure that we get FGAs and FGMs rather than get us TOs. And I think that he's done a great job of just being patient, letting things come to him, and showing the Cavaliers that no matter what they throw at him, he's going to pick it apart.
All right, I'm on Sharpe following the Knicks Game 3 victory. Shump, thanks for the perspective on a night the Knicks take a commanding 3-0 series lead here in the Eastern Conference Finals. New on SportsCenter now. A lot of questions to be answered for Cavaliers head coach Kenny Atkinson.
Do you think that this group is out of gas?
I don't want Danny. It's hard for me to judge, right? I did think their physicality and energy level was much higher than ours. Kind of just call it what it is. But credit to them. I thought their physicality really got us, they turned us over, early. They were into the ball, very handsy. The whole grab and hold thing, which is part of it, and we struggled to play through that physicality tonight.
Why do you think that you guys in this series, and especially tonight, have struggled from the perimeter shooting the basket?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure our shot quality was good again. Just not going down, and you got to run back, keep running back on defense. It puts a lot of pressure on your defense, especially a really good offensive team like that.
Yeah, I think Fred was telling me before the game, your expected shooting percentage is 8.
Yeah.
Going into tonight, it was 8 points lower than what it should be. So, that speaks to what you've been saying.
I think we won the expected all 3 games.
Yeah.
So it's just, but it's expected and real. This is where we always get into that conversation, Joe. So, but they took, they were the more physical team tonight. I think their physicality and energy, and we just couldn't get to that level to combat it. I think the turnovers hurt us. Joe